where are those Droidekas? One of the biggest things we've been asking in the Battlefront community for the last few months, ever since they announced the Clone Wars last year at EA Play, is where are those Droidekas? Well, I'm happy to tell you guys that in the last CT for this month that outlines the upcoming couple of months of content for Battlefront 2, we now have Droidekas as well as a couple of other things which I will mention in just a minute. But without making this intro too long, I am going to jump straight into it. If you want more Battlefront 2 news in the future, I am the Twisted Jedi, and make sure you subscribe to this channel for all of that and what comes next. Anyways, the primary weapon for the Droideka is going to be the twin blaster cannons. These short-range heavy weapons that deal significant damage to those unfortunate enough to find themselves caught in their crossfire. The Droideka can maintain full control of their blasters regardless of whether they're stationary or they are advancing upon their target. Don't let them get near. So this is the description we've been given on the primary weapon from the Droidekas. The first ability is going to be called Wheel Form, and this is the Droideka folds its cannons and legs into its chassis and becomes able to traverse the battlefront at breakneck speeds. The Wheel Form can be activated both with the ability button and by pressing the sprint button, which also further increases its movement speed while in wheel form. Additionally, the Droideka can exit ball mode either by pressing the ability button, activating the energy shield button, or by holding down fire. So that sounds pretty cool. Obviously, we needed to be able to roll around somehow, so they've just made it into an ability as well as by holding sprint. So I'm kind of hoping that this is going to do some damage if you hit enemies while you're rolling through. That would be really cool in my opinion. Ability number 2 is called Overload, and yes, this is going to be similar to all the other enforcers where you can basically overload the primary blasters. The cannons are instantly cooled for a period of time, and the Droideka can fire its blaster cannons with an increased rate of fire. Pretty much the same as we have for all the other reinforcements that have the overload ability. Ability number 3 is the energy shield, and they couldn't not add this to the Droideka. The shield acts as a secondary health pool for the Droideka. That is the first combatant that can shoot out from it. The shield goes into cooldown if it's destroyed or it's manually toggled off. Deploying the energy shield while in wheel form will automatically trigger the transformation into destroyer mode before the shield activates, and vice versa. The shield should automatically toggle off when going into wheel form. Rolling onto the Battlefront this month on June 26, we will have the answer to your question, where are those Droidekas? So there you go, guys. They are the 3 abilities. I really like the idea of the energy shield and wheel form. Obviously, overload we've seen before, but the energy shield sounds quite interesting. Being able to shoot out of it will make it really, really powerful. I hope it's not too OP, but we're going to have to wait and find out on the 26th. Next up coming is a new tank, which is going to be the TX-130. Not to be outshined by the Separatists, the Galactic Republic will also be receiving a new reinforcement in the form of the TX-130 Saber class fighting tank. The TX-130 will provide the Galactic Republic with an armored fighting vehicle that is both quick and defensive. The speed allows the TX-130 to enter into battle, deal damage, and make its escape, a great balance between agility and power. Now, the only thing with this, guys, that improved speed, hopefully they've got less damage output, because if you have the same damage output as something like an AAT and then you put the extra speed on it, it's going to be completely OP. So hopefully damage reduction from the AAT. The primary weapon is laser cannons, and obviously this is similar to what the other tanks in the game already have. Laser barrage is where it fires a short laser cannon barrage of continuous blaster fire. During this time, the TX-130 will fire automatically for a short period of time. So I'm guessing you just hit it and then it's going to start activating, and then you just pretty much aim it where you want it to shoot. And said that this is the perfect counter for when you encounter multiple enemies, small and fast moving targets such as droids or speeders. Ability number 2 is going to be rockets. This is where rockets fire in an alternate fashion from pods on each side of the TX-130. The rockets are dumbfired, meaning they do not lock onto enemies and fire in the direction you aim them, similar to the AAT. So it's basically the same as the AAT ability, it's just been put onto the TX-130. Ability number 3 is called Charge Mode, and activating this ability will toggle the primary fire rate into charge mode. While in charge mode, the TX-130 will gain the ability to charge up a massively charged bolt that fires simultaneously from both the left and right turrets at the expense of some maneuverability. Charge mode is the perfect ability to use when facing a slow moving target. So again, something you can use up against the other tanks and vehicles, which will be really, really helpful. And even if you're playing against the objective, that can help as well. Honestly, to me, I didn't really want too many more vehicles being added, but I guess it's still content. Me, I'd rather reinforcements, heroes, and planets. They are kind of my main priorities right now for Battlefront 2, as well as some balancing to Galactic Assault would be nice. But, you know, we can't get everything that we want. So at least we're still getting content at this stage. Speaking of more content, we're getting a couple of skins in the next update as well. The first one being the much requested General Skywalker skin. We weren't sure if we were going to get this, but now we found out that we are. And most of us kind of figured this anyway because we got the General Kenobi skin. So it only makes sense to give us the General Skywalker skin. On top of that, we get a couple of clone skins, which is going to be the 212th Recon Division, which I will pop a photo of up on the screen. They actually gave us a sample image of what the helmet's going to look like. And then the 41st Scout Battalion, which is exactly how it sounds. They're going to look like Scout clone troopers, similar to how the Imperial Scout troopers look. So this is going to be really cool. Couple more clone skins. Use those credits that you've got saved up. Now, the last thing I want to go over is something that has me kind of happy but disappointed at the same time, and that's the inclusion of Felucia as a new planet. It says the colorful jungle world of Felucia will be arriving later in 2019 as being built for capital supremacy. We can't wait to take on one of the most iconic planets of the Clone Wars era and bring it into the game. Before we get to all of that, in July we'll feature a month of weekly community quests themed around your favorite Clone Wars heroes and villains that will unlock new animated poses and voiceover lines for these characters. So cool to get a couple of quests that are going to be coming in, similar to like the daily challenge thing that they were doing. In terms of Felucia though, it does say is being built for capital supremacy. Now this kind of has me a little bit disappointed. I really was kind of hoping when they started adding more planets and more maps that they would do it for Galactic Assault. Capital supremacy is great, don't get me wrong, but again, you can only play a limited amount of heroes on capital supremacy. I still think Galactic Assault needs to be their flagship game mode, and right now it's not really getting the attention that it does need. I get it, capital supremacy is new, but they are getting Naboo this month, and then of course Felucia in the future. So I really hope that they look to make this into a Galactic Assault map as well. I don't know if it's that it's easier to make maps for capital supremacy than it is for Galactic Assault, but I would really prefer maps to be available for both if possible. If not, you need to give us some maps for both game modes and maybe alternate them on either month when you're going to do a map drop. So that's got me a little bit disappointed, but it's great that we are getting a new planet, at least for capital supremacy, because it will give that fresh take, similar to what happened with Extraction when we did get Kessel for that. So hopefully they can keep adding stuff, and this is a kind of a good step in the right direction. They didn't go to EA Play with Battlefront 2 because all attention is on Jedi Fallen Order, which if you haven't seen my video from this morning, make sure you go check it out. But nonetheless, a good looking community transmission for the month of June. Hopefully we get more details on some other stuff soon. Anyways guys, that's everything from the CT this month. I will be back with a live stream tonight and possibly some videos tomorrow, so make sure you guys stay tuned and turn on that notification bell. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. I am the Twisted Jedi, and may the Force be with you always.
The Sith are all powerful. You are no match for me.